Christian Packdimit here with Taden Fiken for our senior spotlight. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
So just got some senior spotlight questions for you. You get all the rapid fires here before game day. Favorite thing about playing football?
Just the intensity of it and just the best sport you can play.
Absolutely. And as we've seen, you got Country Wednesdays.
Yep.
Is it all country music on Wednesdays?
Oh yeah.
First question, are you a fan?
Yeah, I am a fan. Country Wednesday.
Okay, you got a favorite country song?
I don't listen to very much country actually. So, probably Johnny Cash.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Old Johnny Cash.
Good man. Now this maybe is the same, but I mean, in my experience, probably not. You got to go to pregame hype song.
Probably like listen to a little bit of rap like Drake and The Baby.
The Baby.
The Baby.
There you go. You find a way into the end zone against Hugoton, or at all this season. What's the celebration you're pulling out?
Just slamming the ball.
Good old Gronk spike.
Yep, good old Gronk spike.
When did you start playing football?
Freshman year. Actually, back in middle school, 8th grade year. That's when I started.
Okay.
Yep.
You got a favorite memory from football? It can be on or off the field.
I have a picture of us last year, our 8th grade year. We played Goodland, and I just look at that picture, you know, it means a lot of us middle schoolers back then. See how much we've grown this year, and yeah.
You got a part about senior year you're most excited about?
I mean, it's like every other year, you know. Just got to come out and play football. Yeah.
Fair enough. About the senior year outside of football?
It's pretty much the same. Nothing really changes.
Fair enough. You got any post-grad plans in the works?
Like going to college and all that kind of stuff.
Whatever. What are you doing after graduation?
I don't
You
know.
walk across that stage.
I don't know. I'm just keeping my options open at this point.
Fair enough. You got plenty of time to figure it out.
Yep.
Absolutely. And this is an interesting one. You get a lot of different answers, but you're on a desert island alone with one teammate. You could get rescued tomorrow. You know, they may never come for you. Who's it with?
Probably Zane.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
He's our running back, so he's a tough guy. So we'll be fine.
You're
on
going for
that desert
survivability.
island. Yeah, we'll survive. We'll be fine.
Fair enough. All right, this is another dangerous one. You got a score prediction for tomorrow?
I don't know. I think it'll be a very high-scoring game, so I'm saying about the 20s.
All right. Final score prediction. What do you got?
27-26.
Can I assume that we're the 27?
Yeah.
All right. This has been Christian Packdimit with Taden Fiken here on our Senior Spotlight. We're going to have more of the Farmers and Merchants pregame show leading up to kickoff here on 100.3 The Ride. See, that's all I need, Frank.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
Hopefully that was mostly painless. And we are back on 100.3 The Ride with more of the Farmers and Merchants pregame show. And we are here with Eagles head coach Ryan Mosier. Coach, a good practice today. How do you think it went?
Yeah, it was a good practice for us. We really had a good week of practice, I felt like. You know, we're really working on just growing that physical identity that we're trying to get. And, you know, the kids really responded well. Sometimes it's tough after a win, you know, to bring that focus back to the next week going into district play. So I was really happy with the kids, and it was a good week of practice.
Absolutely. We'll start by quickly looking back at the win last week over Cimarron. In Cimarron, your first away win, first road win. You mentioned after that game that a key, you know, to the success of the offense was the balance. How, as a play caller during the game, do you try to strike that balance or find it?
Well, when you're trying to sell it to the kids and sell it to yourself that we're going to have a physical identity, we have to get that run game going. Week 2, we just couldn't get anything going. They stifled us, and there was really nothing that we could do about it. And so, you know, we came back together as a team and wanted to get that run game going. You know, and then what happens is, like, you get your run game going, and all of a sudden the pass starts to open up, and so we can hit some deep shots and things like that. And so we were really happy with the balance we had last week, and I really do think that's going to be kind of a formula for us as we move throughout the season.
Absolutely. And we talked last week also about trying to find an identity. Do you think you found one? You mentioned physicality.
Yeah, identity, it's not just built in one day, we have, it's a long season, and we want to get more physical as the year goes and see where that takes us.
Now, defensively in that game, you forced 6 turnovers. You blanked them. 26-0 final score. What were the keys to bouncing back, obviously, against Holyoke the week prior?
Getting the ball back is something that's important to us. It's an important thing to winning ball games, is if you can win that turnover battle. I think at the end of the day, we just want to make sure we're reading our keys and doing our job, and those takeaways do happen when you do that. So.
Now, of course, on to this week's matchup. The GWAC's other Eagles are coming into town, and we were talking earlier before practice. They've got one heck of a running back, at least stats-wise. What did the effort look like to kind of imitate that, and how are you hoping to slow him down?
Yeah, so in our scout team, we used some of our ones on the scout team just to kind of get us prepared throughout the week. We know that Hugoton's going to come in and be really physical and try to run downhill at you, and so we tried to mimic some of those conditions throughout the week, and the kids responded really well. I felt like our scout team stepped it up, and when your scout team steps it up, well, it makes your one step it up too. So, but we know they're going to try and get physical, and so we need to be able to match that.
Of course, and hey, other side of the ball, also focusing on physicality. What are you expecting them to kind of show you over there, and how do you want to attack it?
We're going to expect just your classic. Our district, everybody's going to run about the same defense. Some version of a 4-2-5, 4-4. So, we expect to see that kind of thing, and they're going to come downhill and tackle, and they're really fast, and so we've got to be ready for quicker reads, and things are just going to hit a little quicker than we're used to.
Fair enough. District play starting. It gets real. Your Eagles are 2-1. What'll it take to grab a win on Friday?
We got to win the turnover battle and be the more physical team in the fourth quarter. I think that's what's going to matter. They're going to come in with a lot of speed, and they hit quick right off the bat. So we've got to be ready. We can't have as many dips as we've had in the first 3 games. And if we do that and take care of our job, we feel like we have a good chance.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Appreciate you taking the time. And we are going to be back with more of the Farmers and Merchants pregame show and kickoff here on 100.3 The Ride. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Hello and welcome back to Denon Field. It's been 2 weeks since we've been here at home in Colby, and I'll tell you what, are you excited, Colby fans? Because I sure am. This one is going to be real good. Now, last week, of course, we were about 2 hours south of here, just about dead south, not quite, but 2 hours south in Cimarron, taking on the Blue Jays, and we got a win. Not only did we get a win, we looked real good doing it. Of course, we blanked them 26-0, put up a score, a touchdown, found the end zone in each quarter. Scored once in the first, once in the second, third, and fourth. And in each of those quarters, we blanked them. Nothing from that Blue Jay offense. And I'll tell you what, we're looking to carry that defensive play here into game number 4 for the Colby Eagles. However, on that trip back up from Cimarron, somehow another flock of Eagles followed us here to Colby. We've got the Hugoton Eagles in town. The GWAC, the Great West Activities Conference, somehow has 2 teams in it, both with the Eagle mascot. How that turned out, I could not tell you, but we're going to find out the better Eagle here tonight. And I'll tell you what, in the last about 20 years at least, that's as far back as the stats that we were able to find go, the Hugoton Eagles have yet to find a win in Colby. Since 2004-2005 season, Hugoton has not won in Colby. Can that streak continue? I'll tell you what, Colby is going to have their hands full. Hugoton's undefeated, and not only that, they, just like the Colby Eagles, looked good in their first 3 games, or in their last game. Hugoton has looked good in all 3 of their first games, and they are kicking off to start this ball game. So the Colby Eagle offense will have the ball to start this one. It is nice and, I don't know, just about 80. It's 81 here in Colby, here at Denon Field. The sun's starting to sink. Shadows are getting long. Coming from right to left in front of us, white jerseys for the visiting Eagles, and they've got this kind of orangish red helmet on top, and all of the extra attributes, all the knee sleeves and arm sleeves and leg pads, those are all going to be red as well. Your Eagles are coming left to right in front of us. It's a pink out. The jerseys stay black, helmets black, leggings black, white numbers with orange trim around them. However, all the attributes, so anybody wearing a sleeve or socks, anything of that nature, is all going to be pink, as well as all of the Colby fans here at Denon Field. They're all wearing pink as well. And now we are ready for kickoff here at Denon Field, the first time in 2 weeks. And it is time for Eagle football once again. The run-up, the kickoff, it's long, and it's end over end. Betts has it at the 10. He's going to cut up field at the 20, 25. Now he's working his way forward. He'll get about to the 29 before he's taken down. So a pretty good run out. Nothing too crazy, but a good start field position for this Eagle offense. We mentioned that they put up 26 points, found the end zone 4 times, once in each quarter. The second and third quarter, the PAT attempts went through. The first quarter, Taden Fiken missed his extra point, and in the fourth, it was blocked. So 2 of 4 on the day, but 2 of 3 on ones that actually got up. Now we're going to see this offense operate for the first time today. Eagles moving left to right in front of us. Carroll's in the gun. He's got Wark to his left, Betts behind him. 2 receivers out right, 2 left. The snap, the give, it's Betts up the middle. He's met immediately. He's going to get about a yard, depending on the spot. And that is about what we expected. Colby Eagles head coach Ryan Moser, it's his first year. His team has a 2-1 record, and overall as a head coach, he also has a 2-1 record. And he made it clear that he's going to try to establish that run game first here today, and really that's probably going to be a recipe all season long. Carroll's in the pistol. He's got Betts behind him. 2 receivers left, 2 right. The snap, fakes the give, throws on the left side. It's too high and nearly intercepted back there. Giesenhagen was open and just a little too tall for him. And I think, speculation on a broadcaster's part, he might not have found the ball because I think he could have gotten hands on it, but It was too tall for him, but I think he could have maybe gotten up there, got a finger on it, but he didn't make an attempt at it, which leads me to think he didn't see that ball. So an early third down here for the Eagles in the pistol again. Carroll's got Betts behind him, 2 right, 2 left. Tubbs, the tight end, split out on the right side. The snap, 3rd and 10, looking, throwing, long ball over the middle. Tubbs is under it, and he's got it. He's got room to run. It's a foot race, and nobody's going to catch Guy Tubbs. All the way to the nest, showing him the bottom of his shoes. Guy Tubbs, the junior, the full 70 yards to the crib. Give that man 6 points, and that'll start off the scoring for this game and for the Eagles, 6-0. Now we're going to see Taden Fiken, number 55 for the Eagles, out to attempt extra points. We just mentioned he was 2 of 4 one game ago, but 2 of 3 on ones that actually got up. That fourth quarter one was blocked. Less than a minute into this ball game, the Eagles all of a sudden on the board. The snap good, the hold good as well. The kick up, end over end, and no good. Wow, it looked just fine from here, but that one no good, so we're going to take a break. Eagles up 6-0.
You may have noticed that the cheer squad's a little bit larger tonight. For the first half, we'll have the junior Eagle cheerleaders cheering with the Colby High School cheer squad. They will perform at halftime as well.
Now and get up to $1,000 per line. For more details, stop by your nearest Next Tech Wireless location today or call or text our customer care team at 877-621-2600. Next Tech Wireless, home on the range.
We're back with more Eagles on the air.
At Denon Field, and Taden Fiken, after a missed extra point, is now back to kick off the run-up and the kick. It's a good one. Boy, is it high. Now it's dropping. Under it is Hugoton at the 15, the 20, and he's met. Boy, what a good tackle down there. It looked like a gang tackle. Just about the entire special teams met him all at once and right at the 25. Looks like the ball came out late. They're going to rule him down, and it looks like Hugoton fell on it anyway, so won't matter too much. Your Eagles, with 11:02 remaining here in the first quarter, have already scored. They're on the board in less than 1 minute, so they are up 6-0. Taden Fiken missed that extra point, but now we get to see for the first time today a very interesting offense. I'll explain it as the game goes on, but Hernandez is going to be in the gun in this flex bone. The give up the gut, and there's that man, Griffin Hager, wearing number 22. He's built for you NFL fans like Deuce Vaughn. He's maybe 5'10" at best. He's looking closer to 5'8". Little kid, but boy is he quick, and his stats jump out at you. I mean, they fly off the page. In the gun again is Hernandez. He's the backup quarterback. The give, no, he's going to fake it and try to take it himself, and he's met right away. Going to lose 2 on the play. And so from the 30-yard line, their own 30 with 10:20 remaining, Hugoton is going to have a third down and about 5. They got 6 in the first run and then lost 1. Hernandez, the backup quarterback, filling in for Isaac Martin. He was honorable mention for a GWAC team 1 year ago. However, that was Martin. Martin, now out, was injured in that game against Ulysses, the second game for Hugoton. Hernandez in the gun again, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Fakes the give. He's going to roll out and try to throw. He's met in the backfield. He's being chased, and he's going to get taken down. Count that a sack. It's Talon Wark. It's Wark the younger back there who flies in to make a good play, and that's going to force 4th down. Not only that, a loss of 5 on the play. So we'll perhaps see the punt team for the first time, and it looks like that's just about exactly what's going to happen. Hunter Garza, he lines up in the left slot for him, kind of that halfback slot position, is going to be kicking off. Fourth down and 10, the punt. It's a good one. It's dropping on the right at the 50, and actually it's going to drop a little bit into Eagle territory. It took a roll in Colby's direction. So, starting in plus territory on Hugoton's 48 is this Eagle offense. And boy, they lit it up that first time. It looked perhaps at first like it was going to stall, but then no. On third down and 10, a desperation heave, you would think, but I mean, Carroll stood in the pocket. He delivered a good throw, Tubbs up the seam, and he beat two men. He was being bracketed, beat them both all the way down the field. Carroll's in the gun. The give, Betts up the middle, right between the tackles. He'll get about 3, so stays on schedule there. Here's the thing, Eagles fans, is that we've been called a balanced offense. In fact, Coach Jay Witt of the Hugoton Eagles even called it an air raid for our 20 pass attempts. Now, I wouldn't go that far. Granted, a coach running the flex bone that's going to run so much is going to look at us and call it an air raid, but not only is it balanced, but Coach Mosier wants the run to be established very early in this ball game. Carroll, the snap, the give. Betts tries between the tackles again, and he'll get maybe the line of scrimmage. So 2 drives and 2 first downs turn quickly into third downs. And so it'll be 3rd and 7 from their opposing 45-yard line. They're in Hugoton territory here. 8:15 remaining here in the first quarter. Eagles a 6-point lead. They're on top 6-0 so far, but a big third down here to try to stay on the field, milk a little bit of clock. Carroll's in the gun. He's got 2 left, 1 right. The snap, looking right. Now he's going to be pressured and try to get away. He won't be able to. He'll get taken down back at the original line of scrimmage, so it'll force a 4th down and 10. They are still in Hugoton territory. Like I said, they started the drive in Hugoton territory, so it'll be 4th and 10 from Hugoton's 48, and we may perhaps see a punt attempt because of the early score, and that looks like what we're going to see. Carroll jogs off, the quarterback for the Eagles, and, well, I guess they're both Eagles for Colby, and Casey Giesenhagen, the big old wide receiver for us, dropping back deep in the backfield for a punt attempt. Long punt taken at the 7, trying to cut upfield. Should have called a fair catch. The Eagles special teamers were right there. Simon Salcido and Braden Foss combined for a tackle out of bounds. Hugoton's going to have the ball on the right hash on their own. We'll call it the 12-yard line. 7:16 remaining. They're down 0-6. Eagles went 3 and out after scoring on their first drive on a huge play. Carroll to Guy Tubbs. Pretty good crowd here for the Eagles in their first home game in 2 weeks. So we're looking at what's called a flex bone offense. So 10 or 11 of Hugoton's players are going to be in the box every time. The give, Hager, again, he's falling forward, slips through tackles, and he'll get 8. And here's the thing. We've referenced it a couple times, but prepare yourself. Strap in because these stats are something else. 72 carries on the season, 628 yards in 3 games. I'll save you the trouble of doing the math. That's 208 yards per game. Zane Betts was an All-State honorable mention 1 year ago. This season he's averaging about 107 yards a carry. This kid's doubling that. Hernandez is in the gun, motion from right to left. The give, Hager's going to try between the tackles again. A jump cut, and he'll be right near the marker. It'll depend on the spot, but I think he has enough for it. They're on their own 25-yard line, and they will move the sticks. So 1st down and 10, 6:30 remaining here in the first quarter. Down 6-0 is Hugoton. Your home Eagles in this Eagle-on-Eagle battle are leading. So you're going to see your regular 5 offensive linemen, and then you're going to have at least 1 receiver, usually 2, very close to the line. And rarely are we going to see this, where it's 1 receiver on each side split out wide outside the numbers. Hernandez is in the gun. He's got Hager behind him. Motion, right side of the formation, the give, Hager again. tries between the tackles, and a good solid tackle there between the tackles. Looks like Zane Betts from his linebacker position coming down to make a solid grab on this kid. And Jay Witt, the head coach for the Hugoton Eagles, called this, quote, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Now, your football heads will know that that's code for traditional football, for old school football. But I'll tell you what, it can get pretty complicated, this flexbone offense. All the blocking schemes up front can be a lot to handle. Fakes the give, and it's the toss on the left side. That's Garza. Splits one tackle and falls forward through another. He's going to make this third down very manageable. Hunter Garza, we saw him back to punt. He went from the right side, motioned around to the left, and that's where he got his pitch in motion. And with momentum, he fell forward and got about 6 on the play. So third down and 3. 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Eagles up by 6. Hugoton trying to stay on this field on a key third down. The snap, the give. It's Hager bowling forward, trucks a man, and gets the line to gain. And this is what Eagles fans, your Colby Eagles fans, should be worried about, because not only Jay Witt called it 3 yards in a cloud of dust. This kid, it's more like 9 yards in a cloud of dust. He is one heck of a running back. But what it does is it slows it down, slows the game down, and gets Colby out of what they want to do, allows Hugoton to possess this ball. Simply possessing it does a lot for them. In the gun is Hernandez in this flexbone. Motion from the left to the right. The pitch on the right, that's Hager. Makes one man miss, and now he's in the open field. Is he going to go? He's in a foot race with Salcido, and he's going to beat him all the way to the goal line, and that's exactly what it does. You hammer the line so many times, you finally run it outside of the tackles. And this kid, you get fooled into thinking, because he just trucked one of our linebackers, that he's a strength runner. He's a downhill kid, and boy, he can be, but he shows the speed right there all the way to the crib on a 60-yard run, and he puts the Hugoton Eagles onto the board. That's going to tie this at 6. Will the extra point give Hugoton the 1-point edge? The snap, good. Hold, good as well. Kick, up and end over end. This one is good. So despite each having found the end zone, Hugoton is on top 7-6, 4:14 remaining here on 100.3 The Ride. We are indeed back at Denon Field, and your Eagles, with 4:14 remaining, find themselves down 6-7. The first drive of the ball game, a Betts run for nothing, an incomplete pass, and then on 3rd and 10, Guy Tubbs up the gut on this long kind of post route, took it the distance, the full 72 yards to the crib to put the Eagles on board first, traded a couple of punts, and then Griffin Hager, the star running back that has posted so many big numbers, puts up numbers against this Colby offense, takes it about 60 yards to the house to even it up, and then the extra point gives Hugoton the 1-point lead. Now Hugoton ready to kick off. Zumbo Nieto back to kick off. He's been doing kickoff duties all season long. The kickoff, this is another good one. The first one good, second one a solid one, received at the 10, and a little bit of room to run here. Cuts it upfield. That's Talon Wark, is going to fall forward past the 35-yard line.
Tackle made by number 11,
younger brother of Tucker Wark. Tucker Wark, the senior. Talon Wark, the sophomore. Talon Wark, the one who just had that kick return, not punt return. Got a big sack on third down on Hugoton's first drive of the ball game, so he's making his presence felt in a couple of different ways. 4 minutes, 8 seconds remaining. Our Eagles are down by 1, 6-7, setting up on the 35-yard line, middle of this field. Carroll's in the gun, 2 left, 2 right, this spread offense, and they're going to give it to Betts up the middle. Tries between the tackles, and he'll get nothing at all, maybe a yard. That'll depend on the spot. Betts, a great running back in his own right this season. 1 week ago, down in Cimarron, 131 yards and 2 touchdowns, a pair of them, 1 in the second quarter, 1 in the fourth. And that will bring his season total up to 321 yards. So a very, very good start to this season for senior Zane Betts. And he's behind Carroll in the pistol, 2 left, 2 right. The snap, he's looking to true drop back. He's going to step up and avoid pressure. Now he's going to run on this right side. Stiff arms a man. He dribbled that helmet off the ground like he's playing basketball, and he falls forward for about 7 yards. Good improvisational play. That'll set up 3rd down and 3. You saw Hugoton have a play similar in its own drive where on a long 2nd down they make this 3rd down much more manageable.
About 7 yards on the carry, 3rd down for Colby.
Their own 42-yard line on the right hash. 3rd down and 3, a big 3rd down to answer this score. The give up the middle, Betts is going to get nowhere. Oh, man, he's plowing forward. What strength by the senior. I think he'll still be about a half-yard short, but I'll tell you what, it looked initially like he was going to be well short. He was met right away and just kept churning those legs. That's what you need out of a good running back, and it looks like oh, man, look at that spot. It's about maybe 6 inches. I mean, they barely have to move this ball to move the sticks, and the Eagles are going to make that bet. Colby's going to go for it. 4th down and 1, a huge play with 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Carroll's in the gun. He gets a flinch. The hard count, the play stops. Flag on the play, no. Your Colby Eagles were the ones that flinched, so 5 yards back. Will the play call stay the same? No, it won't, and now it will be a punt attempt from your Eagles. So a good try there with the hard count. The quarterback's going to get up there and try to just yell like he's starting the play and hopefully get the defense to jump off sides. Couldn't do that, so it'll be Giesenhagen. The punt, nearly blocked, but he does get it off end over end on this right side, bounces at the 40, and that'll be right where it goes out of bounds. I mean, it bounced and went directly sideways towards me here in the booth, out of bounds, so on their own 40-yard line on the left hash. That's where this Hugoton offense will get it back, and this is what you want to avoid if you're the Colby Eagles, allowing Hugoton to possess this ball. I keep saying that, and the trouble is they run the ball so much. They've already done 1 passing attempt so far today, ended in a sack, but that's probably 1 of 4, depending on how much they get down. If they do, probably 5 or 6, maybe 7 is as high as they're going to go passing attempts-wise. I mean, Colby's darn near already there. Guy Tubbs is being talked to by the officials, and it looks like he had, I'm not really sure, it looks like a necklace or a wristband or something that he had to take off. And he looks confused, maybe angry. The referee's now talking to our coaches. He had to take it off. They stopped play for it. Perhaps if it was a necklace, it was some sort of danger, or the referees, said that it was some sort of danger to the other players in the field. It looks like, frankly, I'm not really sure. And now coach hands it back to the official. Guy Tubbs is going to get to keep on whatever this is. I'll try to find out what it is and fill it in. He puts it around his neck, so it's a necklace. Some football players nowadays are wearing these concussion necklaces. They're not necklaces, of course. They're kind of bands around the neck that are supposed to keep your head from banging around. So we're not sure what that is, but Guy Tubbs is able to keep it on. So on the 40-yard line on the left hash here is where they're going to set up. Hugoton offense on the left hash, 2:05 remaining, up by 1, 7-6. Hernandez in the gun, motion on the left side. They're going to fake to that motion man and give it Hager up the middle. He's breaking so many tackles and falls forward near the 50. This kid is one heck of a runner. And this is what we're talking about when we say it is actually a pretty complicated offense. When you see a picture, try to picture in your mind old school football, a Wisconsin game from 1950 where there's 11 men in the box on both sides. It's not quite what Hugoton's doing, but it's pretty close. Everyone's in the box, and they're going to try to run it down your throat. But the trouble is you have so much motion, so many people moving around, moving parts to this offense, that it gets confusing to run, but when you pull it off, it looks really good like it's looking right now. First down and 10 for Hugoton, right on the 50. Fakes the give up the middle. Hernandez will run it himself, and he runs right into Cody Wright. Cody Wright's going to take him down, and who's that to help him out? But that's Cameron Lilly as well coming in from behind, so a pair of Eagles gang tackle, and down goes Hernandez. Remember that Miguel Hernandez, the sophomore, is filling in for the senior starter Isaac Martin, who's usually under center for Hugoton. Game number 2 for Hugoton, he was injured against Ulysses. Hernandez finished that ball game out and then started and played the entirety of last week's game against Guyman. Looked pretty good in that one. We'll get you stats after this play. Hernandez is in the gun behind him. Hager, as always. The pitch on the right side, Hager gets it, and he's got room to run. He's going to fall forward for about 5 yards. 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Hugoton's up 7-6. They've gotten the ball 3rd down and 5 on Colby's 44-yard line.
3rd and 6 for Hugoton.
Every 3rd down, especially ones where they're a little bit longer, it's about 3rd and medium, 3rd and 4, you'd really like to try to get off the field here. The longer these guys have the ball, the longer they force it down your throat with a hard running downhill ball game, the more wear down your defense gets. And you got most of these guys playing 2 ways. Hernandez, the give, Hager, he's going to be right near the line. He breaks the tackle, and he's got the first down and more. Down inside the opposing 30, so he's going to be in Colby's 28-yard line on the right hash. Hugoton's got it. That's the end of the first quarter. Colby Eagles down to the Hugoton Eagles, 6-7. We are indeed back at Denon Field here for the start of our second quarter. The first quarter went a quick Colby Eagle touchdown, 72 yards to Guy Tubbs. That junior-to-junior connection stays very strong for these Eagles. His junior receivers for quarterback Kason Carroll have looked very good. A couple of drives later, a response from Hugoton, who had a long score for themselves in their own little way. Griffin Hager, a 60-yard run, and the extra point puts them on top 7-6. Now, Hugoton has the ball. They're on Colby's 28, first down and 10. Hernandez in the gun, motion left to right, fakes the give. Hernandez going to run it himself, runs into a wall of Eagles, but they'll give him about 6 on it before he's taken down. Hernandez went 3 of 5, and like I said, you're not going to see a lot of passing attempts from this offense. He went 3 of 5 in his passing attempts against Guyman, 54 yards. He also rushed on 11 carries for 99 yards, so very effective as a dual threat, but we're not going to see a lot of one of that threat, mostly the running from him. Second down and 5, 11:30 remaining here in the second quarter. The give, Hager up the middle. He's got a hole, a room to run, breaks a tackle. Foss trying to keep him short of the goal line. Will he? Yes, he will. They're going to spot him at the 1. A great run. Griffin Hager, you can't say enough about how this kid runs with speed but with strength as well, and that's a balance that's hard to come by in the backfield. Hager getting downhill, broke one tackle, and nearly was able to break the plug stopper. Braden Foss as free safety has to be one heck of a true tackler, and for that reason right there, when they break all the other levels of the defense. First down and goal from the 1. The give, Hager, they've got their man into the end zone. That offensive line got a great push. Hager finds the end zone and puts Hugoton on top by even more. Their lead increases now. It's 13-7 and a chance for the extra point to make it an 8-point ball game. Zumbo Nieto is 1 of 1 on his extra points, and he's had 2 very good kickoffs. The hold good, snap good. Kick is right down the middle, splits the uprights, and so that will put Hugoton on top 14 now to 6, 10:59 remaining here in the second quarter. We're going to take a break on 100.3 The Ride.
Zumbo Nieto to kick off for Hugoton.
And we are back just in time for kickoff here. 11 minutes remaining. Zumbo Nieto, a long end-over-end one. Boy, this kid is one heck of a kicker. Received at the 10, trying to cut it upfield. It's Betts. He's got room to run to his left. Now he cuts it back inside, runs into a tackle, but he's going to get to the 35-yard line. He had a hole for a moment and made good use of it. Betts, the senior, is now going to be stepping behind Carroll on offense, and you feel like you never want to say you need a score offensively, because you want to score every time, of course, and you don't want to put that kind of pressure on your kids. But this feels like a big drive for the Eagles. They're down now by 8 points, 10:52 remaining, and you got to give your defense a little bit of rest. Granted, most of these guys are playing 2 ways. Carroll's in the gun, the give, Betts up the middle. He's met right away and dragged all the way back, but forward momentum is going to give him only a loss of about 2. So second down, and they're going to depend. Actually, they're going to give him about the line of scrimmage. So second down and 10. So this is what we saw against Holyoke, and I don't want to give any Eagles fans flashbacks to that ball game, because we know how it ended up, a big win for Holyoke on homecoming, on the Eagles' homecoming. But early running trouble, so we got to get that established early. On the left hash, second down and 10. Eagles down 6-14, 10:15 remaining in the second quarter. Carroll got the snap, didn't expect it. He's got pressure in his face. He throws over the middle, just out of the outstretched hands of Tucker Work. Tucker, the fullback for this Eagles in their offense, and he is going to be split out wide a couple times this game. We saw that, of course, right there. Ran a deep route, and just outside of his reach, it looks like Carroll maybe released that ball just a moment, a fraction before he wanted to, maybe, because he had a man coming around that right edge. He's a lefty, so didn't see him, but perhaps felt that pressure in his face. So a big third down and 10. Can't go 3 and out here. Carroll's in the gun, 2 stacked to his left, 2 right. Blitz is picked up, but now he's rolling right. He's got men in his face, flips his hips and throws, but his receiver fell down. Braden Foss hit the turf. He wants a flag. Both his gloved hands are pointed at the sky as if to say, come on, ref, I need this one. He got tripped. He ate some dirt there, and out comes the punt squad. Now this Eagles defense is going to need a stop. scores on 2 straight Hugoton drives, put them up 14-0 after a 3-and-out on their first drive. So 3-and-out first drive from Hugoton, then second drive score, third drive score. Now the Eagles have found themselves a 3-and-out here. Giesenhagen gets it off again. They've gotten a good punt rush at him, but he does get it off. It bounces at the 42. Cody Wright's down there, and that's exactly where he downs it. Went laterally, bounced laterally, so it'll be maybe the 43 of Hugoton, where Hugoton's offense will set up. This is a dangerous offense, and they lull you to sleep perhaps with this idea that they're old school, right? Because they are, and the way that they run the ball is old school, but they're very fast. Coach Mosier warned us of this. They're speedy, especially on the outsides, and that's what can hurt you in a hard-running offense is when they get to the outside, you don't expect them to be able to burn you. On their own 43, under 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Hugoton an 8-point lead, and they've got the ball. First down and 10, motion from the right to the left. The give, Hager up the middle. He's met right away, and that's just what the doctor ordered for the Eagles. It's a big first down stop. That's another big part. It looks like, was that Brighton Dixon in there? The sophomore. He was there. Tucker Wark was there as well. There's this idea of being on schedule in a hard rushing offense like this, where you get 3 or 4 yards, 3 or 4 yards, 3 or 4 yards, you pick up a first down. When you don't get it on first down, it takes you a little bit off schedule, out of what you want to do. Hernandez in the gun, motion left to right. The snap is low. It's in the dirt. Can he fall on it? Hager's there. He picks it up, and he's taken down right away. Hugoton holds on to the ball, but, man, what a stroke of luck for these Eagles, and they run at him, make a short tackle right away, so it's going to be a very long third down. Looks like a Wark was in there to make the stop, so on their own 30, backed all the way up. Third down and 22, 9 minutes remaining. Hugoton on top 14-3, but a chance for a big stop here on third down for your home Colby Eagles. Is this perhaps one of the few times we're going to see them pass? They only passed 5 times all game long against Guyman. Hernandez is in the gun right now. Motion left, right, no, it's just a pitch to that motion man, and he's taken down right away. A shore arm tackle. Kai Lanning, the junior DN, came up, made a good tackle, dragged him down. Adele Moreno has just 1 catch on the season. He's mostly going to get it on pitches like that. You see him a lot more as a runner than as a receiver. He's a senior. And that'll bring up fourth down. So on their own 33-yard line, fourth down and 19. High snap but handled, and a long punt. This is a good one. Their kickers are really shown out, and boy, it takes a huge Hugoton bounce all the way down and stops dead at the 20-yard line. 20-yard line on the left hash, that's where Colby's going to take over. You get a bad snap in the dirt, perhaps a chance to seize momentum here for Colby. 7 minutes, 54 remaining here in the second quarter. Your Colby Eagles are down 6-14. It is still a 1-score ball game. Obviously, you got plenty of time, but you don't want to give it back to this offense. I can't say it enough. They are putting up huge numbers. 50 points a game through their first 3 games. You do not want to give them more possessions than they already have. Carroll's in the gun, 3 receivers in trips to the left side motion. Now he's got 4 receivers to the left. We've seen this in practice. A long ball is tipped, and no receiver can get to it. It falls harmlessly in the ground, and every football fan knows that when there's a ball tipped at the line, everyone kind of holds their breath, right? There's a collective gasp because it's a free ball. It's a tip ball drill. Anyone can get it, and the no DBs were able to get to it. So Carroll makes his jog over to the sideline, gets the call from Ryan Mosier, and goes back into the huddle. Second down and 10 from the left hash on their own 20-yard line after a good punt, but also a good stop from this Colby Eagle defense. Now their offense needs to try to do something. In the gun, Carroll's flanked by Wark and Betts. Gets the snap, the give. Betts tries the right side, cuts it upfield, and he's going to fall forward, perhaps back to the line of scrimmage. Third down and 10. This Hugoton defense was a little bit of a question mark coming into this ballgame. They gave up 13 points to Ulysses, whose offense really has not looked very good this season, so you almost aren't sure what to do about them because they've mostly been playing in blowouts this season. So how many of those points came against second stringers, it's hard really to measure. but they've been showing out early. Big third down for the Eagles. Timeout taken by the Eagles. We're going to stay right here. There's 7 minutes and 13 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Your Colby Eagles are down. They've got 6 in courtesy of back-to-back touchdowns before a stop last drive. Hugoton has 14. So you almost say, are you sure he's a backup to their quarterback, Hernandez? Miguel Hernandez, they don't ask a lot from him because he's not doing a lot of passing, but he's looked stout and solid. And Coach Jay Witt says that's a little bit due to they run this system all the way vertically. Since 7th grade, Miguel Hernandez has run this system, same names for plays, same keys for their blockers, everything. So he's used to it. And he's showed out in now his second start. He's possessing this ball well, and their running back behind him is doing plenty of work himself. Now a big 3rd down and 10. Excuse me, sorry about that. Colby is now setting up in the middle of the field after a timeout. It's 3rd down and 10. They're on their own 20. 7:13 remaining in the second quarter. They're down by 8. Carroll's in the gun. Betts behind him. 2 receivers. It's Foss and Tubbs to his right. 2 left. It's Giesenhagen and Wark. Motion. Now Betts is on the right side. Empty in the gun is Carroll. Carroll looks to the right. He's got Betts under it, and he's got him for a first down. His second completed pass of this ball game could not have come at a better time. Betts on 3rd down and 10 picks up a first down, and he's going to slide out of bounds after a gain of about 13. Actually, they're going to mark him all the way up near the 35, so that's where they'll set up on the right hash on their own 35, 1st down and 10. 7 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. In the gun is Betts. In the gun is Carroll. He's got Betts behind him. 2 receivers left and 2 to the right. Now motion. Betts is on the left side of the formation. A high snap is handled by Carroll. It's a draw. He's going to run it himself, and he's taken down from behind. Another good play by this defensive line that's been very, very strong. That's Sebastian Gonzalez, the senior DN, who's set the edge well for them. 2nd down and 10. Eagles got a good play. 2nd down and 13, actually. A good play offensively to Betts out of the backfield who caught a pass. We have really not seen him as a receiver very much. He's got no recorded catches on the year. He does technically have 1, but that was called away after an offensive penalty. Took that off the board, so his first technically catch of the year. 2nd down and 10. Betts next to Carroll in the gun. He's going to get the ball on the left side. Can he get past an edge? No, he can't. This defensive line has been very strong. Guess who that is again? Sebastian Gonzalez, the DN, on the other side of the field, making another good tackle. I'll tell you what, that hand looked awful high near the face mask, but referees has a much better view at it than I do, and he says good tackle. 3rd down, now in very long behind the sticks. It's 3rd down and 19, 5:40 remaining here in this second quarter, and the Eagles need a big play from their offense. Carroll's in the gun, Betts behind him. 3 receivers to his left, Giesenhagen, the lone man to his right. Will they bring pressure? It's worked well for him. No, they'll rush just 4. Betts picks it up. Carroll down the seam, picked off. For just a moment open was Tucker Wark, but sliding in and stepping in front of that Miguel Hernandez. We saw him at quarterback, and now we see him in this outside linebacker position, but it's really more of this spur thing where he's roaming around the field, and we saw him roaming there, stepping in front of who for a moment was open, Tucker Wark, and now Hugoton's got this ball, and depending on the spot, the referees are discussing, they're saying, did he catch it? Because if he did, then it'll give it to him on about the 45-yard line of Colby. Instead, if they're saying that he dropped it, obviously the interception off the books, and then it would be 4th down and about 19 and a punt attempt for Colby. All 5 officials are in the center field. 4 of them in a circle discussing. The 5th got left out. He's just watching. They're going to say no. They're going to say incomplete. They're going to say that ball hit the turf before Hernandez was able to get under it, and so a chance to punt. Obviously a very good, it pads the stats for Carroll, of course. He gets that interception off the books. Now it's just an incomplete pass. better, though, is that now it's Foss back there with a chance to kick off. He's got it, and he gets the kick. Ooh, this one's real good. High and end over end. It bounces at the 45 and takes an Eagle bounce down inside the 40, still rolling. And it'll get about to the 37-yard line. Hugoton on their own 37 on the right hash is going to set up. They're up by 8, 14-6. Talked about how good this offense has looked. It's not even halftime yet, and this kid, Griffin Hager, is already over 100 yards rushing, and he's well on track to hit his average of 208. If that wasn't enough for you, he's also a state championship basketball player. He's the starting 2-guard on this Hugoton Eagle Ball Club. 11 men all in the box for Hugoton. Motion left to right. He stays on the left side to give Hager up the middle. Nothing doing. Cody Wright, right in the middle, makes a big play. I'll tell you what, Fiken and Cody Wright have combined for that tackle there, and it just feels like a win every time you hold this kid under his average, because he's looked so good. 2nd down and 9 on the right hash on their own 38-yard line. 4 minutes 30 remaining. Hugoton up by a score. They're up by 8, 14-6. Hernandez is in the gun. 1 left, 1 right. Perhaps a jump. Yes, it looks like. Yeah, that was Brighton Dixon jumping. We're going to wait on the flag, but from my view up here, Brighton Dixon on the D-line for Colby jump, so it'll be 5 free yards for Hugoton. And yes, it will be. So now it'll be 2nd down and 4. And there's your trouble. You get a stop, you hold them to only a yard on 1st down, and all of a sudden, turns out they're on schedule anyways because they got the jump. In practice, that would be 10 push-ups. Colby, anytime anyone jumps, if it's the offense, they do 10 push-ups. If it's the defense, 10 push-ups as well. 11 in the box again in this wishbone offense. 2 slot players just outside of the tackles. The give up the middle. Hager now he tries the left side and bounces it upfield. He's going to get the 1st down before he's pushed back. A Hugoton Eagle is down, slow getting up, but there is dirty laundry on the field. Back in the backfield, that's usually a sign of an offensive holding. But there is a man down for Hugoton, and Colby's being waved to the sideline. Trainer's going to see him. He is moving, so he's conscious, he's okay. We're going to get you an update on him as soon as we can. Clock stops at 3 minutes 56 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Hugoton up by 8, 14 to Colby's 6. They got a 1st down for a moment. Man, he looks like he's in some pain. We're praying for him, and everyone's now taking a knee. Flag on the play is picked up. We're going to wait on that call. Holding offensively, so 10 yards back. The 1st down that was picked up on 2nd down won't count. We don't want to speculate on this injury, but looks like that right leg is not doing a whole lot of movement. The left leg's kicking in pain, but we're gonna step away for a moment here on 100.3 The Ride. And we are back at Denon Field. We're trying to get you who was injured. It looks like it was Mason Ernu, the senior. wearing number 86, and that right leg is indeed the one that's injured, so he's being limped off, not putting any weight on that at all. Kneeling down, we're both sidelines up now, and an ovation here from this Eagle crowd, as the Colby Eagle crowd, as a Hugoton Eagle is escorted off the field. Of course, our thoughts and prayers are with him. We hope that he is all right. Yeah, he's not putting any weight on that right knee, rather. Got two trainers, one on either side of him.
Second down 14 for Hugoton.
But makes it to the sideline okay. We're going to hope that he's all right. If we hear an update on him, we're going to try to get you one. Probably won't be until halftime that we can, but we'll let you know if we get any update here in the booth on senior Mason Ernew for the Hugoton Eagles, who was injured on that play. Second down and 14, and the clock is ticking now, under 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Hugoton's got the ball on their own 33. Low snap is handled, and the snap is messed up. They couldn't even get that playoff tackled right away. Guess who is back there? It's Brighton Dixon once again. Set up a long third down behind the sticks. Brighton Dixon was the new man on this defensive line. We saw one set of what's called a 4-4 defense, 4 linebackers, 4 down D linemen in front of them for the first couple games, and then a change was made. Ryan Mosier called it the new look 4-4 defense for Colby. And really the main change was Brighton Dixon starting in at nose guard. And he's played quite well in his 2 starts. Hernandez in the gun, low snap again, but he handles it. He's going to throw along that left side, nearly intercepted. Braden Foss hit both his gloves, and it hits the turf. He is still going to get up and do that classic DB, nothing in his house. He did make a great play on that ball, was unable to come up with it. He would have had some room to run, but regardless, it's going to force 4th down and 20, and now a punt attempt here. Hunter Garza, the punter. Zumbo Nieto is their kickoff man, and extra point, field goal, all the place kicking. He's looked really good, and Hunter Garza, the sophomore who plays receiver for them, has been a very good punter as well. It's nearly blocked. He does get it off. It's high and dropping at the 35-yard line of the Eagles, and right at the 37, and a Hugoton Eagle is down there to grab it. That's Adele Moreno, who grabs it before it goes out of bounds and takes a little bit more of a Colby bounce, but all the way up to the 38. 2:52 remaining here in the second quarter. You have 2 goals here if you're the Eagles, who are down by 8 points. One of them, don't give Hugoton another chance before halftime. The other one, of course, is go try and score. So we'll see how Coach Mosier maintains what would be a difficult balance in those 2 goals. Carroll's in the gun. The give up the middle. There's Betts. Betts behind that offensive line is pushed forward, and he's going to get about 5. The change there, finally a positive run for Betts. The change, a 6th offensive lineman in there. Only 3 receivers out in patterns instead of their usual 4. And that allowed Betts to fall forward there, a good spot for him. He got 7 yards out of it. Second down and 3. Eagles 6, Hugoton 14, 2:20 and ticking now on the left hash on their own 45-yard line. In the gun, Betts high snap, gets it and falls forward. He's going to get maybe a yard or 2. Set up a short third down. Spotted up at their own 46. You probably think 4-down territory, I do at least, for an Eagle offense that has struggled outside of that big play on their first drive. They've picked up just 1 first down since then. 1:45 remaining here in this first half. 3rd down and 1. Betts is in the gun behind Carroll. Carroll the give. Betts lowers his shoulder and falls forward, and he's not going to get there. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 4th down and 1. 91 seconds remaining, and it looks like a 4th down attempt coming up. Probably won't snap this ball until there's under a minute remaining. That will do one thing for this Eagles, and that will cut down the time remaining for Hugoton to try to score. But you got to be careful to leave yourself some time if you convert this here. Under center, I formation behind Carroll. Hard count, he gets a jump. No call. Still trying that hard count. Carroll's under center there. 3 on the play clock. Will they actually call a play? Looks like no. Timeout taken by the Eagles. Here's the thing. When a defender jumps off sides, technically by rule, an offensive player has to respond. He has to flinch or jump. And that's actually what you're calling the penalty on, is forcing that offensive player to move, to react. But technically, again, by rule, if the defensive player jumps and gets off back before the ball is snapped, it's actually not a penalty. So that's the trouble. It's really a heads-up play from the quarterback. Carroll under center, perhaps with more experience, will know when he jumps, you got to snap the ball there just to give him, or an offensive lineman has to flinch and say that he caused him to flinch. But neither of those happened. So now with the timeout, we're going to see if the Eagles will still go for it on 4th or just be happy here to take it into halftime. No, Carroll's on the field. 4th down, try, 4th and 1, 57 seconds remaining here in the first half. Down by 8. It's 6-14. A big 4th down out of the timeout. Carroll's under center again. I formation behind him. It's work and bets. 1 receiver left, 1 right. Carroll's really trying on that hard count. Now he's going to motion. He's audibling. He's talking to his lineman, exchanging a play. He's under center. Hard count again. 7-6, and they're not going to do it. Can they call back-to-back timeouts? Yes, they can. So a timeout called, and now probably we're going to see a true punt attempt. 57.1 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So trusting his quarterback to try to get a jump there. And, of course, there's almost no harm, no foul, because if your guys jump on a hard count, you can just punt the ball away. It's not going to get you a loss of down or anything like that. But now 4th down and 1, 57.1. Carroll's still out there. Will this time be different? This will be a 3rd setup for a 4th down attempt. The first 2, hard count, no true play, and a timeout call. Will this one be different? 25 on the play clock, 57 before halftime. Your Eagles down 6-14. Carroll's in the gun, 1 left, 1 right, I formation behind him. The snap, the give. He's pushing his way forward. They're just going to push Carroll, and yes, he's got it easily. He's still moving. He stayed on his feet, and he falls into Hugoton territory. That will fire them up. Carroll's got the first down into Hugoton territory. The Hugoton 44 on the left hash. Now they got to get quickly to the line. The snap, it's high. He's rolling left. Carroll, he's going to tuck it and run himself. He'll get a first down before he steps out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A good play from Carroll, who shrugs his shoulders at the defender. That one's too easy for him. And good heads-up play from the quarterback to step out of bounds, because that stops the clock. Remember now, because of those timeouts, the Eagles don't have any left. They've got no timeouts, 35.7 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This is the time to use the NASCAR offense for Colby as fast as they can go. Carroll in the gun. The snap, looking, pressure in his face. He steps up and slings it sidearm. Did he get it to his man? They're going to say no, it's incomplete. So that'll stop the clock at 28.7. Tucker dove and tried to get it. Oh, it looks like they are going to say it was a completed pass, but there's a flag on the play, and they're going to call it holding against Eagles, against Colby, and it's going to march them 10 yards back. So that might be a drive killer with under 30 seconds remaining here before the half. At this point, head coach Ryan Mosier has to be happy that goal number 1 was accomplished. He kept Hugoton from getting one more chance to score before half, but now a chance to get that second goal in. Try and score. Carroll to the line. He slings it to Betts, who didn't see the ball. Oh, it falls incomplete. 19.5 seconds remaining in this first half. That one goes incomplete, so second down now and 18. Slings it to Betts, who was running a wheel route out of the backfield and just did not see that football. A reminder that incomplete pass does stop the clock. So a chance to huddle up, get the call, and now to the line. 4 receivers stacked on the left side. Boy, I've never seen this formation before. Alone in the gun is Carroll. Looks left, throws left. It's long, and it's high for Tubbs, who makes the grab. He's going to fall down inside the 25, but the clock's ticking. Can they get to the line? 8 seconds, 7, 6. It's ticking. Can they get in formation? Under the gun is Carroll. 3, 2, the snap, the spike. It'll stop. There should be about 2 seconds on the clock. It shows triple zeros right now on the scoreboard, but obviously the referees are, you would think, give us more time, correct? We're going to wait on them. That snap was at least a second or two. The spike, rather, was a second or two before halftime. Eagles down 6-14 right at halftime. We'll see if the referees will give them one more play, a shot for the end zone here. Looks like 2 seconds. The referees say 2 seconds back on the scoreboard and one more shot. Can they do it? Well, they're close enough now. They're on the 25-yard line that it won't be a true Hail Mary. They can really run a play. Same formation, 4 receivers all stacked, one behind the next, behind the next, behind the next. Carroll's in the gun. Giesenhagen, the lone man on the right side. Carroll, high snap is handled. Looks right, it's at Giesenhagen. It's a throw to him. Can he get under it? No. It's about a foot too high for him. Giesenhagen is enraged. He wants a flag in the end zone. He's not going to get one, though. Oh, man, another Eagle, a Hugoton Eagle, is down and injured. He's trying to get up and run off himself. It looks like his left arm is injured, or his left shoulder. He's down. He's laying on his back. Coach Mosier from Colby is out there to comfort him, along with the referees and now trainers from Hugoton. But it's a Hugoton man that's down right now. We hope, of course, that he's okay. Thoughts and prayers are with him. Hugoton is up 14-6 at halftime. We're going to have plenty of stuff to talk about this game at halftime. Stick with us here on 100.3 The Ride.
Halftime score, Hugoton 14, Colby.
First half of the
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Colby High School dance team.
air raid. It's so new style. It's what you see on Saturdays, right, with college teams, spread offenses. And, again, it's not that spread out. It's not that much of an air raid, but very, very opposing styles here. And so the key becomes which team's style can win out, because if Colby wins out and it's deep shots all day long and you can slow down the Hugoton offense a little bit, you can get them out of what they want to do, because if you hit on all your deep shots, then Hugoton somehow now feels like they need to get back into this ball game. They need to start hitting some deep shots of their own, and of course that's not what they want to do. They want to run the ball all day. They want to slow it down, make it possession by possession. Colby hasn't been able to do that. That's something they could have done and still can do. Hugoton has successfully in this first half gotten their style of play to win out, so to speak. Hard running, down your throat, between the tackles, speed on the outside. This flex bone old school offense has made it possession by possession, and now that they're leading, they can sit on it a little bit. They can burn some clock, and they can make Colby really start to true pass on their downs, drop back and deep bomb without play action. That's not what they want to do, because Coach Mosier said that it's not just the balance he wants to see out of the offense, it's an early establishment of the run game. That way, once all the safeties come into the box, once Hugoton feels like they have to respect the run game, it's easier to hit on those deep shots, right? You got, no double coverage over the top. You'll only have one safety out there, so Carroll can slice and dice. He hasn't been able to do that because Betts has been outside of a couple of big runs, and he does have that catch as a receiver. The run game has been largely ineffective, and so that gets Colby out of what they want to do, makes it tough on them. And so they hit on their first big shot of the game, their first drive. First, a run to Betts, second, an incomplete pass, and then on third down and 10, boom, right up the gut, this little post route, and Guy Tubbs has outrun his men, and he took them all the way down the field to the crib. He sixed it, 72 yards, and that's been not only the biggest play, 72 yards is the longest play from scrimmage the Eagles have had all year, but it's also been the only real big play. It's certainly the only play past about 15 yards, usually 20 yards in the passing game, 10 or more in the run game is considered a big play. They've had a couple of big plays on scrambles from Carroll, but outside of that, they've had no real big plays offensively. That's kept them entrenched in this dogfight. And so then when Hager gets going, this excellent all-world running back for the visiting Eagles, the Hugoton Eagles, then it becomes very difficult. It gets dogfighty, right? It gets very tough to hang with them when they're cranking off 60-yard runs, because when they're pounding you between the tackles, you don't expect that this kid gets outside, this kid that's listed as a fullback, to all of a sudden have burning speed and to beat even your safeties to the end zone. But that's just what he did. They scored on a couple of touchdowns back-to-back, their second and then their third drive they scored. There's hope, though, for your Colby Eagles, because the second half of that second quarter, they showed flashes defensively. Granted, the snap in the feet of Hernandez at quarterback for Hugoton brought them out, more than the Colby defense did of what they wanted to do. But they've had some great plays. They've had sacks back there, tackles for loss, and just holding this Hager kid to under 5 yards a carry is considered a win. And they've had some wins here in the second quarter. The Colby offense just needs to catch up. That NASCAR, that little 2-minute drill at the end of the half got them close. The holding, offensive holding, of course, kind of killed that drive with about 30 seconds left. But there's plenty of hope. You got to hit on the deep shots, and to do that, that's easy, right? He's got great receivers on the outside. This Colby offense does speed and size with Tubbs and Foss and Giesenhagen, but it's the run game. It's the offensive line. It's the big guys up front that need to block, that need to get in their lanes and give Betts a lane to establish this running game. That's how the Eagles come back, get back to what they want to do, and win this ball game in the second half. We're going to crown an Eagle of the first half, and then we're going to have our keys to the second half, and then, of course, kickoff here on 100.3 The Ride.
you to the junior cheerleaders for showing off what they've learned this week during their camp with the CHS Cheer Squad. CHS Cheer Squad is coached by Amy Blake.
And we are back at Denon Field. Your Colby Eagles are hosting the Hugoton Eagles, so it's a battle of Eagles here on 100.3 The Ride on a rocking M Media channel, KRDQ Colby. 2:04, and then another 5 minutes for these players to warm back up. So about 7 minutes remaining here in halftime. 7 real-time minutes, not the end of a half of an NBA game type of minutes. It'll be 7 true minutes before. At the end of the first half, that honestly ended up not meaning a whole lot. They weren't able to score or get a score. his feet. He's getting right back up, and he's going to get to this huddle. But I'll tell you what, he got popped.
Third down and 8 for Colby.
Some guts here to stay in on this one. Third down now, and they're going to spot him about 7 or 8. On the right hash on the Hugoton 32. Another big play here for Colby's offense. In the gun is Carroll. The lone man to the right is Giesenhagen. He's got 3 receivers to his left. Behind Carroll is Betts. The snap, looking right. Now he'll roll left. Stops and sets his feet and runs back to the right. He makes one man miss. Now he's going to tuck it and run. Oh, he tripped. No, the turf monster got him. Oh, he's going to be frustrated on that one.
Ball carried by Carroll.
That sets up 4th down, and he did still get a couple out of it. That's a brutal one. He had a first down. He had green grass in front of him, and oh, man, he's got a taped up left ankle out of halftime, and it looked like that might have affected him on that running attempt. 4th down now and 6, and a drive that was going so well for the Eagles in danger of sputtering. They're on the 30 of Hugoton. Can they convert on 4th down? They're down by 2 scores. 8 minutes remaining in the third. Work to one side and Betts to the other. Motion, fakes the give. No, the give is to Foss. Foss on the left side. Can he get the edge? He's hit, and it won't be nearly enough. So that'll be a turnover on downs and a brutal one to take there. It's Hugoton's offense, and their turn with the ball here in this third quarter, and Carroll looks to be frustrated. He's limping just a little bit. That left foot or that left ankle is all taped up, and now on the right hash on the 28-yard line. So they needed 6. They got about 2. So it'll give the ball over now to Hugoton. Now the Colby Eagles defense in a spot where they need to stop. Hernandez in the gun. Motion right to left. Rolling left is Hernandez. He's going to fake the pitch and run it himself. He's got room to roam. He's got a first down and more. Up the sideline. He's got a convoy in front of him, and he's taken down deep into Colby territory. He's on the 36-yard line. And what a swing those last 2 plays are. Carroll unable to get the first down on that scramble attempt, and now all of a sudden, Hugoton is in Colby territory. Hugoton's up 21-6, and they've got the ball. They're on Colby's 38-yard line. 7 minutes 20 remaining in the third quarter. Hernandez is in the gun, a hard count. He's got it. The give, Hager up the middle, and he'll fall forward for about 5. You really got to make sure that this doesn't let the air out of you, right? Because a lot of teams would let this kind of get to them, and you need a stop here because we haven't seen them. They have a heck of a kicker, but we haven't seen them attempt a field goal here so far today, so a stop is big here. They're still even on the range of even a good kicker. Hernandez in the gun, motion on the right side of the formation. Fakes the give. He's going to run it himself. He's hit right away and taken down. He'll get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 7. 6 minutes 30 remaining here in the third quarter. Hugoton up by 2 scores, 21-6 with the ball. We're seeing 4 down linemen on most of these plays from the Eagles, and that's probably what we're going to see most of the rest of this season, actually. 4-4 or a 4-2-5, some version of it. That's 4 down linemen and then 4 linebackers behind them. And it's going to help with rushing attacks like this one. 3rd down and 7 on Colby's 35. Hugoton, the snap, the give. He's got a hole. Hager's going to be right near the first down marker. This kid just comes at you downhill, unrelenting. He's got all 3 scores, 3 touchdowns on the day, does senior Griffin Hager. They're going to mark him a full yard short. It's a yard, but it looks like a relatively long yard to get on 4th down. So yet another opportunity. The Colby Eagles have to get a stop here. Hugoton in the gun is Hernandez. 5:27, 4th down and 1. The snap, the give. Hager bowls forward, and he's got the first down. I mean, when you got a kid like that, all you got to do is, just get him the ball and get out of the way, right? And that's just what they've been doing. This offense works wonders. There's a reason that this team is undefeated, averaging about 50 points a game. They're now on the 25 of Colby. In the gun, Hernandez. One left, one right. Behind him is Hager. Motion left to right side of the formation. Hernandez going to run it himself, cuts upfield. He's got a hole. He's ankle tackled from behind. He's going to be right near the first down marker, which is sitting at the 15.
He's brought down by Cody Wright.
Looks like they are going to spot him the first down. So that'll move the chains. They're on Colby's 13-yard line. They're up 21-6. 4:51 remaining here in the third quarter. Your Colby Eagles are 2-1. Your Hugoton Eagles visiting are undefeated at 3-0. In the gun is Hernandez, two receivers right. Motion right to left side of the formation. They give Hager up the middle, cuts it to the left side. That offensive line has been doing some great movement too. Williams, Pennington, Gonzalez, Hernandez, Nicholas, all up there on the front. And Coach Jay Witt made sure to point them out in our pregame interview. They've been dominant all season long, and that push up front has really been doing a lot. Hager is one heck of a runner and taking nothing at all away from him. The stats he's been putting up, the game he's been having. But a lot of this is the offensive linemen as well. They're getting a great push. Second down and 7 from Colby's 10-yard line. 4 minutes remaining. They're up 21-6 over Colby. Hernandez, the pitch outside. Garza's got the edge. Can he get to the end zone? Yes, he can. That's a touchdown for Hunter Garza, the sophomore, out of the backfield. He's their most prolific man outside of Hager in terms of getting the ball in the backfield and those quick movement, those pitch options, the speed on the outside, and he used it right there to find the end zone. So someone that wasn't Hager scored for Hugoton. Now a chance at the extra point here. It's 27-6, Hugoton on top. Snap high, but the hold good. Kick up, it's wobbly and no good. Short over the left side. So 27-6, the score, Hugoton on top here in the third quarter.
Zumbo Nieto kick off.
We are back in Denon Field. Hugoton on top 27 to 6 over Colby. That kickoff all the way down to the 5. Received by the Eagles, cutting it up to the left side is Betts. He's got a little bit of an edge. He's going to get out of bounds. Oh, a late hit right there. Oh, man, right in front of the Eagle bench. Woo! That's not the place you want to hit anybody. Vaughn Grubbs, the sophomore for Hugoton, came down and laid the boom on Betts well after he had stepped out of bounds. The crowd reacted. The referees reacted. So they got about, let's say, to the 35 or so, did Betts on that return, and the 15 yards is going to pin them right up near midfield, assuming, of course, that is what the call is, and now we're waiting. Personal foul against Hugoton. So, yes, it will be 15 yards ahead, and they're going to give him just, I think, a little bit shy of midfield. And with 3 minutes 40, this game is certainly not over. We've been talking like it's dead and buried. This Eagles offense is a long way to go, and they've got a lot of work to do. But this game is not over, especially with the long bombs we've seen them be capable of all season long. Actually, look at that. I was right. The spot directly on the 50-yard line. On the left hash is where Colby is going to set up. Carroll's in the gun. He's got two receivers right. It's Foss and Tubbs. Two to the left are Wark and Giesenhagen, and behind him, as always, is Betts. Wearing those black uniforms, white numbers, orange trim, going right to left in front of us. They give us to Betts. He's met in the backfield, and he's going to lose 4 on the play. Great play defensively there from Hugoton. They've been doing a good job. They darn near lived in the backfield for a lot of this game.
Loss of 3 makes it 2nd and 13.
Second down now and 13 from their own 47-yard line. 3 minutes, 20 remaining. Eagles are down 6-27. Carroll's in the gun, 3 receivers right, the lone man, 3 receivers left, lone man to the right is Giesenhagen. The snap and looking right at Giesenhagen. He pump fakes, and now he's going to step up and try to run. He'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a couple. Carroll looked for a second like he wanted to throw deep to Giesenhagen, decided wasn't anything there. So now there will be a long 3rd down behind the sticks. 2 minutes, 45 remaining here, and you don't want to waste this great starting field position here that the penalty and the Betts return gave you. And probably 4-down territory, so you got to think you don't have to get all of it, right? You can check it down and still get 5 or 10 out of this and be happy with it. 3rd down and 14. Carroll alone in the gun. Looks left. Now he's going to run it himself. Tuxon, oh man, yeah. He ate it again. Can't get traction with that left foot. It really does look like it's causing him a little bit of pain. He got back to the original line of scrimmage, though, so 4th down and about 10, depending on where they spot him on the left hash. That's the 2nd time in as many tries that Carroll, when he's run, has lost his footing, and he's got a taped up left foot that looks like he's not quite comfortable using it. Perhaps instincts there just tell you got to run, and that was the right decision, but just doesn't have the foot speed he does when he's fully healthy. 4 receivers left after Betts motions that way. Carroll throws on the left side. He's got Tubbs for a 1st down. Still fighting his way. Oh, he lost the football. It's out, and that's Hugoton ball. What a roller coaster of emotion. You found Tubbs for a 1st down on 4th, and now your Eagles have to be feeling a little bit frustrated. It looks like they are, and it's going to be Hugoton Eagle football. That is a tough one to lose there. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Hugoton 27, Colby 6. Hugoton on the right hash on their own 39-yard line. Hernandez is in the gun. That classic wishbone formation, all 11 in the box. The snap, the toss on the left side is Hager, who spins out of 1 tackle, and he's still on his feet. He's got a 1st down and more, and then he steps out of bounds. Avoids a hit there, so he'll get about 17 out of that play and a big 1st down. Minute 28 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Leading by 3 scores is this high-powered Hulk Hugoton offense. They've got the ball 1st down and 10. They're now in Colby territory on Colby's 44-yard line. 2 receivers to the right for Hernandez, who's in the gun. The snap, the give. Hager up the middle, spins out of 1 tackle and into another. He'll get about 4 out of that one. Sets up 2nd down and 6. I'll tell you what, the camaraderie has to be a little bit, filling you with hope if you're an Eagle fan. Right after Tubbs dropped that one on 4th down, he looked very frustrated, and right away teammates were over to pat him on the back. Get his head up. Plenty of ball game left and plenty of season left. 2nd down and 6. Hernandez is in the gun. The snap, the give, he's met right away. Oh my goodness, he got out of that? Wow. It looks like he actually lost the ball because that wasn't Griffin Hager who ran the ball forward. It looks like he lost the ball for just a moment there, and falling forward there, it looks like it was actually Hunter Garza. He's going to be a little bit short of the 1st down marker. It's about a half a yard on 3rd down. 24 on the 3rd down clock. 3rd quarter clock, excuse me. Hernandez in the gun. The give, Hager up the middle. He's going to be right near the marker, and he falls forward, and he's got it. With 10 seconds remaining in the third, it looks like they'll let that clock hit triple zeros. They move the sticks and start the clock, and so that will be it for the third quarter. Hugoton on top 27-6 over your home Colby Eagles. We'll have more on the other side of the break on 100.3 The Ride. And we are indeed back at Denon Field. Your Colby Eagles are on defense. Hugoton just picked up a first down and 10. They are in Colby territory on Colby's 31-yard line, threatening to add to what is a 27-6 point lead. Hernandez is in the gun. This is the formation we've seen most of the game. 10 players in the box and one receiver split out wide. Hagar is behind Hernandez. Motion on the right side of the formation, the give. Hager tries the right side. The right side has been doing wonders for him, but you gotta say, every side has been doing wonders for him. That offensive line has been getting great push on most of these plays. Gonzalez in the middle, Hernandez and Niquas on that right side. Senior, junior, junior. Senior the center, junior the right guard and tackle. And Jay Witt, the head coach for Hugoton, has pointed out many a time that it's that experience, the big men. He was an offensive lineman himself. The experience, the big men up front does a lot for this offense. Hernandez in the gun, Hager behind him. Low snap is handled, but he's going to have to run it himself. Jump cut, and he's going to fall forward. Going to be, I think, a little short of the marker. Would set up third down.
Miguel Hernandez on the carry. Multiple Colby defenders on the play.
It will be, they're actually going to mark him about a yard and a half short.
Third and 1.
So third down and 1.5. 11 minutes remaining here in the final quarter of play. Hugoton with 27. Colby here with 6. And on their heels, but a chance for a third down stop here. Hernandez in the gun. In a 3-point stance behind him is Hager. Motion from the right to the left, and that's where the toss is going to go. On the right side to Hager. Tries to cut it upfield. He's going to be right near that line. I think he's short. The spot's going to put him actually half yard short of the original line of scrimmage, so fourth down and about 2. Kyle Lanning there to grab a tackle for loss. He has now 2 on the season. He's got 9 total tackles and a sack on the season coming into today. Now he's got 2 tackles for loss. The D linemen have been doing a pretty solid job so far today, but this hard rushing offense wears you down. Ticket down and about 2. 3 on the play count, and it looks like a timeout is going to be called. Yes, it will, by Coach Jay Witt. So we're going to step away here on 100.3 The Ride. Big lead for Hugoton. We are back at Denon Field here on 100.3 The Ride. 4th down and 3 for Hugoton. Hernandez got it, the give. Hager up the middle, spins out of one tackle and will fall forward. Looks like he's going to be short. A turnover on downs. The Eagles finally get one. I never want to write it off, but perhaps a little too late. 9 minutes 45 remaining. Eagles down by 3 scores, 6-27. And I mean, you need 2 quick scores to give you really any shot at this, but might be a little late. And at the very least, an offensive drive here gives you something to work with, something to build on going into next game. In the gun is Carroll, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. The give, bets up the middle. He's got a hole, and he'll fall forward for about 5. He was riding the left side of this Eagles offensive line. Eagles offensive line in the second half have been getting a good push up forward. Kellen Burvey, Cody Wright making up that left side, and Big Ethan Weinman in the middle. Carroll's in the gun. Behind him is Betts here on 2nd down and 5. Eagles down 6-27, 9:20 remaining in this ballgame. 2 left, 2 right. Fakes the give, looks right, throws right, got his man. It's Tubbs spinning out of one tackle and falling forward. Finally, he's brought down right near midfield, actually the 45-yard line. They're going to be on their own 45. Move those chains, 1st down and 10.
Tubbs picks up 16 yards in a Colby.
9:08 remaining here in this one. Colby down 6-27. In the gun is Carroll, 2 to the right and 2 to the left. Behind him is Betts. Fakes the give to Betts. Looks, now pump fakes and runs right. He's met in the backfield and he's hit late. Ooh, he slipped and then got hit up high on the helmet, and that's going to set up 2nd down. And that's probably the 3rd time that trying to roll out and scramble, Carroll lost his footing. You have to wonder if it has anything to do with the tape over the cleat on that left foot for the lefty. Now 2nd down and 14. 8 minutes 30 and ticking remaining. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Carroll's alone in the gun. The snap, looking right, looking, throwing long bomb over the middle. Too high and a tipped ball, and it's intercepted. That's going to be Hugoton Eagle football. And a frustrating one to take on a ball that was just a touch too high there for Braden Foss. Couldn't get to it. Got a finger on it, tipped up into the air, and sliding in on it is Hugoton. 6-27, 8:18 remaining, and Hugoton's going to take over on this one. I'll tell you what, the way this team has been running the football, you wonder if they can even run all the clock out if they want to. In the gun is Hernandez, and for once, behind him, Hager is nowhere to be found. He's split out wide. Motion behind him in the backfield. The give is Garza up front. He falls forward. It'll get about 4 out of it. We'll bring up now a 2nd down and about 7. 8 minutes remaining here and ticking in this one. 27-6 the lead for Hugoton. They scored quickly on their 2nd and 3rd drives of this ball game, and then it was just, death by 1,000 cuts. Just runs and runs and runs from Hager, and they just kept staying on the field. The Eagles offense couldn't keep them off long enough. Hernandez in the gun, motion from left to right on this formation. Rolling right is Hernandez. He's tripped up and taken down. Brighton Dixon there to clean that one up. 27-6 the score. Hugoton on top. 7:25 remaining here in this one. Hugoton is on their own 36-yard line. It's 3rd down now and about 8. Eagles trying to get a stop right here. Again, we're going to see Hernandez alone in the gun. He's got 2 receivers to his left and 1 to the right. 2 slot men, 1 on either side of him. A low snap is handled. He rolls left, man in his face. Jump pass is out of bounds. And incomplete. It did eventually get to Hager, but I don't think he was able to get even 1 foot down as he lands out of bounds. So it'll bring up 4th down now and 8 from their own 36-yard line. It looks like the punt squad is coming on. We've only seen 1 punt from them. It was their first offensive drive of this ballgame. It was a good punt, but the offense has done so much for them that they've been burning clock, and they really haven't had enough possessions to find another punt here. 6:52 remaining. So the snap is handled, and another booming punt. Bounces at the 35, takes a little bit of a Hugoton bounce, and will roll down to the 30 before it stops. And on the left hash of their own 30-yard line, this Eagles offense will take over one more time for Colby. 6 minutes 43 remaining, down 6-27, and it's definitely starting to get chilly here in Colby. Fans starting to thin out, but a good amount of them still staying to watch the end of this one. A pink out here at Denon Field. 6:43 remaining in the fourth quarter, and in the rest of this ball game, your Eagles have just 6 points, courtesy of a first drive of this ball game long touchdown. Carroll's in the gun. The give up the middle. Bats no, he fakes it, and he passes in the flat is Tucker Wark, who makes one man miss. He broke him down and juked him out of his shoes. Gets a first down and more. Steps out of bounds. He's escorted right there, out of bounds at midfield. A great play out of the backfield, a hard pump fake to when you got a running back as good as Bats, a play fake, gets all those linebackers biting. He's got Tucker Wark wide open, makes one man miss, gets a first down. Stepped out of bounds, which stops the clock. 6:43 remaining, 6:34 remaining, excuse me. On the right hash, on the 48 of Hugoton. Colby's got it. Carroll's in the gun, fakes the give, looking right, throwing right. It's a laser, and it's intercepted. Stepping out of one tackle and now being taken down by Guy Tubbs deep back there. Oh, man. Looks like that was Eden Moreno, the senior. Adele Moreno, excuse me. He's one heck of a corner back there, and he's showing out again. They don't really move their corners, so he's the left side corner, and Hunter Garza, who we saw score a touchdown, is on the right side. More defenses than you might think do it like that, split on sides. Hugoton now will take over again. 6:25 remaining here in this one. They've got a 27-6 lead. In the gun is Hernandez, one split out wide to the right behind him, Hager. The give up the middle, Hager will fall forward for about 3. And every time he goes into this crowd, he rams into the big old bunch in the middle and then somehow squirting out. He always finds his way to fall forward. That's what the really good running backs do, is they're never forced backward. It's always forward momentum, and they're always hitting the turf, falling forward. So 2nd down and 7, under 6 minutes remaining now. 27 points for Hugoton and 6 points for Colby. In the gun is Hernandez. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Hernandez quarterbacked a pretty good ball game for just his second start. The pitch to the motion man who cuts it upfield. That's Moreno, who just got an interception defensively, and now he gets a touch offensively. And late flags as tempers flare. Referees escort players apart. 2 different referees threw penalties. Is that 2 different penalties, or both throwing them for the same thing? I'll tell you what, this is a frustrating loss to take at home, especially after you blew out Cimarron in Cimarron. So I'm sure your Eagles not too happy about this one, and something tells me this penalty will be on an Eagle, which is a pretty good call to make because the Hugoton players are Eagles as well. 5:34 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Still waiting on the call. And so like we see a lot here today, it looks like a sideline warning actually. And an unsportsmanlike conduct. Yep, that's exactly what we expected, is 2 flags thrown, 1 on each team, and instead of sorting it out and saying he said, she said, and assigning a penalty to one team or another in what was a little bit of a scuffle by everyone on both sides, they just said offsetting penalties. And we're just going to redo this down. 3rd down now and 5. They were after the play actually, so no redo down. They're just going to count the play, which was a good stop by this Eagle defense. 3rd down and 5 from their own 35. 5 minutes 34 remaining. The referees are still talking. Not to each other, though. We're talking to the players. Now a chilly night. The wind really rushing here. Half moon out here on a beautiful northwest Kansas evening. Dipping down right around 70 degrees, and a tough one on a beautiful football night to take here at home for your Colby Eagles. In the gun is Hernandez. He's got 2 to his left and 1 to his right. A low snap is handled. He's got pressure in his face. 5-man blitz. Throw, he's got his man. It's Moreno. About 15-yard gain, and that'll set up a first down. It's his only completed pass of the ball game. Like we said, Miguel Hernandez is a capable passer, but you really don't see it. The yin and the yang of running a wishbone offense. You got a great running back, he's going to get a lot of touches. You got a great quarterback, he really might not get a whole lot of chances to show off that arm. I believe that's their 4th passing attempt of the ball game, and that keeps them right on schedule for what we expected out of them. Their own 46-yard line on the left hash, first down and 10. Under 5 minutes remaining, big lead here for Hugoton, 27-6. The give, Hager, right between the tackles, and he'll get about 2 out of it. So that'll get him up to the 48. And we were told that this one was going to be a war. And a war it has been, but sadly the winning side not who we want it to be. Coach Jay Witt was a former offensive lineman himself, came from Texas where he coached for 37 years. He says he brought that wishbone over to Hugoton, Kansas, and it's been working wonders for him. 2nd down and 8. The give up the middle, that's Hager again. He'll get about 3 out of it. We're now below 4 minutes remaining here in this ball game. Hugoton is up 27 to Colby's 6 points. It's going to be 3rd down and about 5. We're going to see if this Eagles defense can't get one more stop before the close of this ball game. They're on their own 49-yard line, 3rd down and 5. 3:30 remaining, up 27-6. In the gun is Hernandez. Behind him is Hager. The snap and a penalty. That one thrown by the back judge. He's the one watching, delay of games. That's 5 yards back. They use too much of the play clock. In fact, they use all of it. That's the man back there about 20 to 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage on the defensive side of the ball is usually the one in charge of watching that play clock. So he's doing his job. 5 yards back goes Hugoton's offense, but the clock will still be running, so it's at 3:05 and ticking. 27 points for the visiting Hugoton Eagles, 6 for the home Colby Eagles. Hugoton has the ball, 3rd down and 9 now on their own 47. Fakes the give, now rolling left. Hernandez looking, pump fake, and now he's going to tuck it and run. He'll get nowhere near the line of scrimmage. Just about every Eagle gang tackled him. Looked like Cody Wright. No, that was actually Brighton Dixon there first. He made first contact, brought him down, but by the time he hit the turf, every Eagle there defensively. So that'll be 4th down now and 6 on exactly the 50-yard line. 2 minutes 20 remaining and ticking. 27-6 the lead for Hugoton as they jog out their punt crew. Again, we haven't seen too many punts from them. This will be the 3rd of the ball game, the first on their first drive, and their second one drive ago. And that's going to be a timeout taken by Hugoton, so we will step away with 2 minutes remaining. 27 points to 6 for Colby, the lead for Hugoton. We are indeed back as Hugoton's punt bounces at about the 25, takes an Eagle bounce up to about the 28. No return for the Eagles, but that's where their offense will set up. 1 minute, 47 seconds remaining here in this one. Your Eagles have 6. Hugoton's Eagles have 27. This offense really, it had that big play, 72 yards to Guy Tubbs to open up this ball game, and has largely been stifled since then. Put together a couple of good drives that sputtered on Hugoton's side of the field. In the gun is Carroll, 2 receivers stacked left, 2 to the right. Behind him, Betts. The snap, the give, Betts up the middle, tries between the tackles, and he won't get much, maybe a couple. Set up second down now in about 8. Minute 30 remaining and ticking. On their own 30-yard line, they're going to huddle up, no rush, to get back to the line, and looks like, waving the white flag a little bit, a chance to now take it down and get out of there. So 1:23 remaining here in this one. Your Eagles have 6, and Hugoton's Eagles have 27. This will be the first win in a long time, more than 20 years, that Hugoton has won in Colby. In the gun is Carroll, motion from the left to the right side of the formation. The give is to Foss, the motion man. Makes one man miss in the backfield, cuts it upfield, and he'll get a gain out of it, made something out of nothing. He'll get about 5. Really good, did a good job of falling forward there, lined up on the left side. They gave it to him, the motion man. And he cuts upfield, so 3rd down and 4, 48 seconds remaining. The Eagles down 6 to 27. As time ticks away here in this one, important to remember that this is not the first blowout the Eagles have suffered here at home. So, and of course they responded to that Holyoke loss with a big win in Cimarron, so perhaps a chance to try to respond here again in this coming week. Carroll in the gun, a high snap is handled, and the give is to Betts up the middle, who bounces off of one tackle and falls forward. 4th down and short, but with 18 seconds remaining, that will likely be the last play of this ball game. Are the Eagles going to try and get one more off, a 4th down attempt? No, they won't. No rush to get up to that line of scrimmage, and they'll just huddle up and talk and walk back to the sideline. 3, 2, it's official. 000 here in Denon Field. Your Colby Eagles have 6. The visiting Hugoton Eagles 27. That hard rushing offense, that old school wishbone style, has won out here today. This evening, Hugoton comes into Denon and gets a big win in Colby. They stay undefeated. They move to 4-0. Your Colby Eagles, who were 2-1, coming off a win, will now be coming off a loss, dropping now to an even 2-2. They've got Holcomb next week, who is legit. They're a good team, and that'll be a struggle against them. That'll be quite the dogfight. We'll have coverage of it, kickoff at 7 p.m. here on 100.3 The Ride, and stick around for our Funk Optometry post-game show.